What's going on, everybody? It's Wednesday, March 25th, 2020, the heart of the coronavirus season. Not sure what it's going to be, to be honest, but at quarantine, decided to make another video, carry on where we left off. We'll be looking at the 300-410 exam for CCNP. And exam topic 1.2, troubleshoot route maps for any routing protocol, and we're going to be focusing on tagging. So last video, let's go ahead and pull up EvenG here. Last video I covered this topology in which we had this route right here on loopback 0 of router 1, which is the 1.1.1.0/24 network, within RIP being redistributed into EIGRP, at which point it was given a metric of 170, and then that was being redistributed from EIGRP into OSPF. And when that happened, OSPF flooded the network, or the area, with that route with a metric of 110. So the dilemma here was that, oops, let's go ahead and X off of that. The dilemma here is that router 4 at times would prefer to get to router 1 by going to router 6, then to router 5, and then to router 3. The problem is we would prefer it to go to router 3. The reason for this is because OSPF gave that route a metric of 110. So router 4 was learning it with a metric of 110 from router 6, but it was also learning the same route from router 3 with a metric of 170. So what we did is we applied a route map to router 4 and to router 5, because this condition, if it wasn't happening on router 4, it was happening on router 5. If it was happening on router 5, then it was happening on router 4. So they would flip-flop back and forth depending on which one was learned it first, I suppose. So we put these route maps on router 4 and router 5 for the OSPF process. Essentially what we were saying is, do not flood the network this route. We don't want router 5 to learn this route through OSPF, and we don't want router 4 to learn this route through OSPF from router 5. So we made a prefix list to match that IP, and then we denied it from being distributed within OSPF. So that's one method. Today in this video, I'd like to explore how to do this by using a route map, but to tag this IP address with a number using a route map, and then to block that tag within OSPF as opposed to the prefix list. So I'm probably going to make a bunch of errors, but at least you can walk through them and see my mindset on how I'm working through it. Maybe you can help me out. If you like my videos, before we get into this too deep, I do have a Twitter. It's TechKnowledge, and I also have a YouTube channel that I post all these videos. If you could subscribe. And a funny thing, I was actually thinking about changing the name of this because I thought it would be cool to, at the beginning of each video, to drink some sort of alcoholic beverage and to share that with you guys and my thoughts on it, just as a quick intro. So let me know what you think about that, and I might change it to a different name. I was thinking maybe like Stir IT, STIR-IT, like Stir It. But I don't know. I like to focus on the Cisco stuff, but I thought that'd be a cool twist, is to share different types of alcohol drinks at the beginning of each video. Anyway, back into the topology here. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to show what I was talking about here with the routes, the suboptimal routing. And we did address this in the last video, but for those that didn't watch the whole video, feel free to go back and watch, or you could probably fast forward a little bit. But so if we do show IP route, you'll see that the 1.1.1.0 has a metric of 110. But if we come into router 5, I'm hoping that shows 170. It does. So again, router 4 is preferring to use router 6 as the next hop as opposed to router 3. We don't want that. We would prefer it to go router 3. So let's figure out how to do this with the tagging. All right. So let's go ahead and go into router 1. And I did learn how to tabulate the terminals. Okay, so router 1. So I don't think I'm going to do this on router 1. I think I'm going to do it on router 2. Because what I've learned is I don't know if you can put route maps on RIP. So I'm going to put it on router 2. And we're going to go configure terminal. And so this is where I'm getting tossed up. If I create a route map, then I have to match it. And either can match it with an interface. So let's just show that real quick. So route map. So I might have to create an access list. We'll call it tag. Let's call it tag all capital. That way I don't mess up here. Question mark. So I don't think you have to do much here, but we can say 10. Let's go permit 10. So if you want to match multiple IPs, then you want to do this. So this is where I'm getting confused. So the match statement, we have a bunch of different options in here. Most of these don't really apply, right? But you can match tags, but we don't have any tagged routes right now. So we want to match some sort of IP or interface. So I think when you do IP, it actually makes you match an access list. And then if you do interface, match first hop interface of route. So I think that's going to match this 200.1.1.1. So with that being said, we're probably going to want to create an access list here. So let's go back. So IP. So actually, let's go back into the route map. Let's make sure I'm doing this right. Route map, tag, permit 10. And then we'll go match IP address IP access list number. Okay, so yeah. So we want to create an access list. Just want to clear that up before I get too far in. Or you could do prefix list. So that's the two options. Let's create an access list, which I'm probably pretty rusty on too. So IP access list. Oops. We'll go standard. Sure, why not? Standard. Let's go 10. And then we'll say permit 1.1.1. Let's make sure I'm doing this right. It's been a while. Permit 1.1.1.0. And then wildcard will be 0.0.0.255. And that's that. And then I don't know if it'll let me do multiple permit statements, but we'll try it. So 2. We'll just do the we're just going to do we'll just do that. We're not going to try to do multiple different tags. Exit. So then we'll go route map. I hope this works. This is my first time going through this. So route map, and then the name was tag all capital. I think we're doing permit 10. Match IP address, and then this was the access list, which what did we choose? 10. IP access list number 10. Okay, I guess you can match multiple access lists, that looks like. And then we're going to set tag to, we'll say 77. Actually, we'll call it 666 because we're actually going to block it in OSPF, right? So make it the evil number here. Okay, so, and then we want to, now that we have that created, we'll do show route map. Make sure that that's there. So matching IP access list 10. So it's going to, the thing about this is it's going to block everything else. Right? So it has an explicit deny. Let's see what happens. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It might block that 200 network, which might cause a problem. So it might not be a bad idea to go into route map tag, and then we'll go ahead and say permit 20, right? Match again, and then we'll say match interface, because this is the mesh interface GI 0/0 set tag, just call it 1, 2, 3, I don't know. Okay, so now that we have the tags, we're going to go into router EIGRP 100, and we're going to distribute list route map tag out. Okay. So I don't know if this worked. Let's go to router 3. Neighbor 2112% graceful. Okay, that seems fine. Hopefully. Pure graceful restart. Alright, so show IP route 1.1.1.0. Nice. Okay, so tag 666. Now let's do the same thing with 200. Let's hopefully the 200.1.1.1 route is also there. Network not in table. So it should have been redistributed with the command. So I'm wondering if the route map is causing it to not redistribute. Let's do this. Go back into router 1. We'll go route map. We'll take that statement off. Route map tag permit 20. No match interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0. So let's do that. And no set. I don't know if I have to do no set, but nope. Okay. So if we do show route map, and what we're going to have to do is this access list, we're going to have to do show permit sequence 20 permit clauses. So did it get rid of the tags for 666? It's going to get complicated, as you can see. Route map tag permit 20. Okay, so it got rid of sequence. Looks like it got rid of sequence 10. So route map tag. So we're going to say no route map tag. I'm just going to get rid of it and add it again. And then we're gonna fix that access list first. Could not find route map. Oh, it's capital. No route. These are all the trials and tribulations you'll have to do on a test. So let's go back to the access list. So do show IP access list, right? I don't know what happened to it. Do show run do show run pipe I access. I'm beginning to know why. Because I believe we put this on. Did we put this on router 2? We did it all on router 2. So this is what happens. You start getting crazy on here and you forget what you do. Do show run. Do show route map. Okay, so this is where we want to edit. So go route map. No route map permit 20. Could not find route map permit. Oh, we have to say tag, right? Okay. So if we do show route map now, we can see that it's only matching the permit 10. So what I want to do is I want to go back into that access list and fix it so that it includes the 200 network, right? So do show IP access list. Okay, so we're going to go in and we're going to say IP access list 10. I think you have to do standard 10, right? Standard 10. And then we say it's 20 permit 200.1.1.0, and then this can be your wildcard, right? 0.0.0.0.255. Looks good. Exit. Do show IP access list. So that looks good. And then again, there's a implicit deny, or explicit, whatever it's called at the end of this, blocking all other IPs. So let's go back to our route map. So do show route map. So it's already referencing this. It's already referencing the access list, and it shows it actually tag IP access list 10. So if we go into router EIGRP 100 and we say no redistribute, or sorry, no distribute list, we're going to take it off and reapply it, and then we're going to check our neighbor here, tag out, and then we're gonna put it back on and then see what happens here. What we want to see is that 200.1.1 route is learned, and it has the tag of 123 as well. So let's go to router 3. So we're in router 3, and then show IP route 200.1.1.1. Actually, it has it tagged as 666. So why did it do that again? Show. I might not have had a second statement. You have to have different sequence numbers here. Route map tag permit sequence 10. So if you wanted to have it tagged to two different numbers, you would have to actually have two different access lists in the way that we did it. So we would say like permit sequence 10 match access list for this route, and then if you want to tag up the different number, then you would say reference this other access list. So it is possible. I'm just going to leave them all at 666, and then what we want to do is go into router 4, and this should, a cool thing about this is if we do show IP route 1.1.1.0, the tag goes with it. as it's being redistributed across the different routing protocols. So what we're going to do is we're going to go router OSPF 1. You got to go into configure terminal first, right? So configure terminal, and then router OSPF 1. So I'm going to make sure that we do this right. Redistribute, distribute list, deny, so it's a route map tag, and then this is going to be okay, so, sorry, I'm skipping the gun a little bit. So we have to create another route map and then match the tag of 666, and then we're going to deny that from being distributed through OSPF, right? So let's go back a step. So route map, deny 666, and then we're going to say deny, right? And should be good. Hopefully it doesn't deny everything. And then we're saying match tag 666. Okay. And then we're going to go router OSPF 100, router OSPF 1, process 1, and we're going to say distribute list route map, and then this was called deny 666. Filter incoming routing updates. So that's going to be in. So we're going to filter any routing updates from EIGRP into OSPF. Show IP route. Still has it. So this has it as 170. Good. And ideally, you're going to want to put this on both, right? Because it might flip-flop. Oh gosh. That's not what I want to enable. Show IP route. I wouldn't surprise me if this says 110 now. OSPF. I don't know if that was the original case. Like I said, it flip-flops. So we're gonna create that route map here. So route map deny 666 deny match tag 666 exit, and then we're gonna go router OSPF 1, and we're gonna say distribute list route map deny 666 and don't know what this does. See how it's 170 now, right? So it's not learning it. It's not putting it in the routing table as an OSPF route. Now the problem with this, I'm wondering if it's distributing it here. So it's still distributing it as OSPF into the network, but it's fine though because the next hop is showing it's load balanced between 4 and 5. So that's fine. We're okay with that. We had the problem with the suboptimal routing. So to sum this up, I know it's probably pretty painful, but hopefully you learned from some of the mistakes I made. We were able to create tags on router 2 for these two networks, and to it distributes the tag throughout, right? So that tag follows it along the way. And then on router 4 and 5, we could reference those tags and say, OSPF, we don't want you to pass that on. We don't want you to distribute that throughout the network so that router 5 learns it via OSPF. And router 4 doesn't learn it through OSPF as well because we're blocking it on each of those. So that's why router 6 has it, because we didn't put a route map on there. If we put a route map on there, it wouldn't have learned it. And we also put it as an inbound, so if we were to say outbound, then it probably wouldn't have shared it to router 6, and then router 6 would have no way to get there unless you created some sort of default route. So all in all, that's how you use tagging. Again, I'm going to continue to work on route maps, learn a little bit more about some of the other methods to matching and setting and what can be done with it. But that's it for this video. If you liked it, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. Again, follow me on Twitter if you're not already. If you like the content that I'm producing, I'm working on doing some research on some video editing and some microphones, things like that, so that I have better quality. Right now, I'm doing it on a pretty low grade setup, but I'd like to produce some better content. But if you like it, go ahead and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and we'll be moving on to some other topics in future videos. I'm not sure, maybe attributes, but I'm not really sure. I'm going to do some more reading, some more research, and try it out. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.